And hello everyone, welcome back to another CSS tutorial. So in this tutorial we'll be talking about padding and margin. Now we are primarily going to be talking about the concepts behind them and also show you a few examples, but take note everything we've covered in previous tutorials can still be applied here. So this, for example, the shorthand method also works with padding as well as the padding and margin, and as well as margin / padding, left, top, right, bottom. All of these things, they do still work with margins and paddings. I will just not be going over things like this in the future, but you should take note a lot of them do still support this. Alright, so let's first create, well, let's just keep this div here. And let's remove this box shadow, and let's just rather give it a border of 1px solid, and let's go red. Right, and let's maybe make it a little bit more, so maybe 3 pixels. There we go. And red is actually a little bit difficult to see. Let's go green maybe. That's even worse. Okay. We can't win. That's fine. I will stick with red. I'm assuming everyone can see that red there. We can also zoom in just a little bit. There we go. Alright. So here we have a box and it has a border. Very simple. So very simple. Now first let's talk about padding. Now padding is the space on the inside. So from top to bottom. So where the text starts here and from left to right. So with this knowledge we can know that padding left will affect this area between where this text first starts and the side of the box. So if we were to say 100 pixels, then it will have a padding here of 100 pixels. If we were to make it 16 pixels, then it would be a bit more. We can of course make it padding 16 pixels, and this will apply 16 pixels to all corners, the top, the left, the bottom, and the side. That's padding. Padding is just when you have a box, then that is from the top corner, the left, or the top side, the left side, the right side, the bottom side. Basically this space here, that is the padding. Now similarly, you also have something like a margin. Let's create another div around this div so you can see the margin. Now we can go id is equal to margin. Alright, we can go here and we can say margin border 6px solid #000. Okay. So there is something here, you just can't see it. But there is actually a border there. If I were to make it bigger, you'll be able to see it. Now here we can also give it a padding, such as this. And this is why we can't see it. We go solid, then there we go. I said sold instead of solid. But yeah, so if we remove it, you can see it there. And if we give it a padding, as you can see, it will pad this inwards. Now similarly, a margin is the opposite. So where a padding is the inside of this box, the inside, the margin is the outside. So if we said margin 16 pixels, now the outside of this box has 16 pixels attached. But take note that this margin here and this padding here, they are not the same. If I were to put a padding here, it will add to this margin, because this margin here is part of this box here, whilst this padding here is part of this box, as you can see. So margin is on the outside, so it will add spacing on the outside of boxes, whilst padding will add spacing on the inside of boxes. And when I say boxes, I actually mean any sort of HTML element, because in the end of the day, all of them are just, in a sense, a box. Even a p tag. So if we were to convert this into a p tag, you'll see it's also just a box. Anyhow, so that is the basics between margin and padding. It's as simple as that. Margin is the outside, whilst padding is the inside spacing. And of course, if you wanted to, you can go 0, 10 pixels. This is perfectly fine. And here we can go 0, 16 pixels 00. So you'll notice that this one-liner method also works, but you can also do something like margin top, and you can modify it with this. But yeah, so the higher this number, the larger this spacing. So 30, that's a large spacing. But yeah, that's the basics, all you needed to know. Margin on the outside, padding on the inside. Thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all again in the next CSS tutorial.